There's a kind of man that women don't just want, they remember. He's not chasing. He's not begging. He walks into her life and without even trying. He owns her mind, her emotions, and yes, her desire. But here's the secret. It's not about being the best-looking guy in the room. It's about knowing how to move, how to speak, and how to trigger something deep inside her that even she can't explain. In this video, I'm breaking down 9 psychological techniques that high-value men use to own a woman's attention, her loyalty, and her rawest desire, without being manipulative. And no, this isn't about games. It's about emotional leadership, erotic energy, and mastering the masculine presence. So if you've ever wanted to be the man she can't forget, even after you've left the room, stay tuned. Let's begin. 1. Emotional framing. The first way to own a woman, completely, is through emotional framing. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall for logic. They fall into emotional frames. And the man who controls the frame, controls the experience. So what is emotional framing? It's the ability to shape how a woman feels when she's around you. Whether she feels safe, desired, challenged, or mesmerized. It all depends on the frame you create. For example, let's say you go on a date. You don't just talk about your job or hobbies. Instead, you subtly lead her into stories, reflections, and emotions that awaken something deeper. Try this. Ask her, what's a moment that changed the way you see yourself? Watch what happens. She pauses. She thinks. She opens up. And now, she's no longer thinking about dinner. She's feeling emotionally naked. And you guided her there. That's the power of emotional framing. You're not just having a conversation. You're leading her through an emotional experience that no other man is giving her. And guess what? That experience becomes addictive. She'll start craving you, not for your looks, but for how she feels around you. Safe, seen, challenged, excited. That's how you begin to own her attention. Technique 2. Sexual tension without touch. Do you know what drives a woman wild? It's not what you do with her. It's what you do to her mind, without even touching her. This is where most men miss it. They either rush in with too much physicality, or play it so safe they become invisible. But the man who understands sexual tension without touch? That man is dangerously attractive. Here's the truth. Every woman wants to feel that slow, delicious build-up. That space between will he, and why hasn't he yet? So how do you build that? Simple. You use your eyes. You linger in silence. You say less, and let your energy say more. Let's say you're standing close to her, talking. You lean in, lower your voice just a little. She thinks you're about to kiss her. But instead, you pause, just for a second, and hold eye contact. That pause? That's fire. Because it creates a vacuum, a magnetic pull. And in that space, her body starts reacting to you, without a single touch. Let her lean in. Let her want it. You're not being cold. You're being masterful with your energy. When a man can create desire without needing to act on it immediately, he becomes unforgettable. That's what turns her mind into a playground, and you become the game she wants to play. So remember, touch is powerful. But restraint? Restraint is irresistible. 3. Commanding presence. You want to own a woman, not in the toxic sense, but in the magnetic, unforgettable way? Start with this. Command the space you enter. Here's the truth. A man who walks into a room and owns it, without saying a word, is rare. And every woman feels it, even if she can't explain it. It's in how he holds himself. It's in the way he doesn't fidget, doesn't rush, doesn't seek approval. He's not performing. He's existing fully in his masculine energy. Now, commanding presence isn't about being the loudest guy in the room. That's insecurity in disguise. It's about being so at ease with yourself that your calm becomes contagious. People lean in. Women get curious. It's the kind of energy that says, I know who I am. I'm not chasing. I'm choosing. When you have commanding presence, you don't beg for her attention. She gives it to you. Because in a world full of men trying to prove their worth, the man who doesn't need to prove anything becomes invaluable. Let me give you a secret. It's not just posture and confidence. It's your intentionality. Are you grounded? Are you decisive? Are you tuned in? Women read your vibe faster than your words. So the next time you enter a room, or her world, walk slowly. Speak deliberately. Make eye contact. Say little, but mean every word. That's the kind of presence that makes her feel like she's in the orbit of a king. Not a guy who wants her, but a man she wants to impress. 4. The deep mirror technique. Let me introduce you to one of the most powerful techniques most men have no idea they possess. The deep mirror technique. If you want a woman to melt for you, if you want her to feel more emotionally naked than physically unclothed, then listen to this very carefully. Most men hear women. Few actually understand them. And the man who does? He owns her mind. And if you own her mind, you own her desire. Here's what the deep mirror technique means. When she talks to you, venting, confessing, reflecting, even rambling, you mirror not her words, but her emotional state. You reflect her energy, not just her logic. Let me explain. If she's sad and says, "It just feels like nobody ever really sees me," you don't just reply, "That sucks. I'm sorry." That's surface level. That's safe. Instead, mirror deeper. Try this. You feel invisible sometimes. Like people enjoy your presence but don't really know your soul. That must be exhausting. Boom. You just mirrored her soul, not her sentence. When a woman feels emotionally understood, not just heard, she becomes psychologically addicted to your presence. Why? Because now you're not just a man, you're a mirror. You reflect her inner world better than she can express it herself. And that makes her feel seen. Like truly, deeply seen. Do you know how rare that is for a woman? Here's the trick. Don't interrupt. Don't rush to fix. Don't jump to man logic. Just feel with her. Then reflect her experience back with emotional accuracy. The deep mirror technique is subtle, but lethal. Why? Because it makes her crave your presence when you're not around. You'll be the first man who listened into her soul. And once a woman tastes that, no surface-level guy will ever satisfy her again. You'll be the one she dreams about. The one who felt like home. 5. The pleasure anticipation hack. Let me say that again. It's not always about what you do. It's about what she thinks you might do. Women are mental creatures when it comes to pleasure. While men often respond to visual and physical stimuli, women get turned on through imagination, through build-up, suggestion, suspense, and craving. That's where the pleasure anticipation hack comes in. This technique is all about creating a mental movie in her mind. One where you're the star and the scene is slowly unfolding. So how do you do this? Let's break it down. 1. Plant a thought, then pull back. Send her a voice note that says, "If I told you what I was thinking about right now, you wouldn't sleep tonight." Then go silent. Let her imagination fill in the gaps. This is the hack. Give her the spark, let her brain light the fire. 2. Tease her schedule. Clear your night this Friday. I have plans for you. And no, I'm not giving you details. Just know you'll need rest before. Now she's not just looking forward to seeing you. She's fantasizing about what you have planned. You're now renting space in her mind for free. 3. Use anchored triggers. During an intimate moment, whisper something she can't forget. Then later in the week, reference it casually. "Remember what I did behind your ear last night? I've been thinking about how to upgrade that." Now, every time she touches her ear, she thinks of you. That's not just sex. That's psychological seduction. Why it works. The brain is the most erotic organ for a woman. If you can stir her imagination, create craving, and build tension that slowly explodes, she'll chase that experience over and over again. She'll start thinking about you during meetings, in traffic, at brunch with her friends. And that is how you make her obsessed. The pleasure anticipation hack turns you into her favorite addiction. You're not just a man anymore. You're a daydream she keeps replaying. 6. The masculine control frame. Let's get something clear. Despite what modern media pushes, a woman craves the presence of a man who can lead, firmly, confidently, but never forcefully. This doesn't mean being a dictator. It means radiating direction. Being a man whose presence says, I've got this, and I've got you. That is the masculine control frame. And it's one of the deepest psychological triggers for feminine surrender. Here's the truth. When a woman feels emotionally safe under your leadership, she not only respects you, she melts for you. 1. Be decisive in small things. Don't keep asking, where do you want to eat? What do you feel like doing? Instead, say, where's something comfortable? I'm picking you up at 7. I've got the movie and wine ready. You just bring that pretty face. Why this works? It removes the burden of emotional responsibility from her, and she can relax into her femininity. 2. Set boundaries without apology. Masculine energy thrives on clarity. If she disrespects your time or tests you with mind games, you don't argue, you calmly correct or withdraw. Example. Look, I like you, but if you're going to ghost me every time you feel moody, we might not be compatible. Let me know when you're serious. You don't guilt trip. You don't get emotional. You simply stand your ground and walk if needed. This creates a deep respect reflex in women. They may challenge you at first, but when you hold steady, you instantly separate yourself from every weak man she's known. 3. Lead with presence, not control. Women don't want a dictator. They want a man whose energy anchors them. It's in your eye contact, the calm in your voice, the way you handle tension without flinching, the way you place your hand on her lower back. And she knows, without words, that you're in charge. This is the difference between control and leadership. One demands, the other attracts. Why this works? Femininity is chaotic by nature, emotional, flowing, unpredictable. It needs something solid to dance with. When you embody calm, grounded masculinity, you provide the container in which her wild feminine energy feels safe to express. And when a woman feels safe, she becomes uninhibited, soft, and open. Not just emotionally, but sexually too. The masculine control frame doesn't make you controlling. It makes you a leader. And women, truly feminine women, desire to follow a man they trust to lead. 7. The mirror seduction method. Sometimes, seduction isn't about what you say, it's about what you reflect. And this, my friend, is where the mirror seduction method comes in. This is about creating such deep psychological resonance that she feels emotionally naked in front of you, without you even touching her. When you first interact with a woman, match her tone, her speed, her volume. If she's calm and soft-spoken, don't come in hyped and loud. If she's playful and flirty, match her rhythm. Then, slowly lead her energy where you want it to go. Let's say she's nervous. You match that stillness. Then slowly relax your shoulders, deepen your voice, and ease into calm confidence. Without even realizing it, she'll start to follow you emotionally. This builds unspoken rapport, a silent message that says, I get you. I see you. I'm safe. And that's powerful. This isn't about copying her word for word. That's creepy. It's about reflecting back the emotion or underlying message in what she's saying. Example. I just hate when people lie. It makes me shut down. Yeah, it sounds like honesty's a huge deal for you. Like, emotional safety matters a lot. Boom. She feels heard, understood, and emotionally exposed in a way that's sexy. Why? Because very few men are emotionally intelligent enough to pick up on emotional subtext. When you do, you become rare. And rare men are irresistible. This is a powerful technique from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and it works wonders in seduction. Pace her reality by acknowledging what's true in the moment. You seem a little guarded. That's okay. I can tell you've been through a lot. You carry yourself with that quiet armor. Then, once you've validated her state, you lead her somewhere better. But you also strike me as someone who wants to open up, when she's with someone who sees through the walls. This creates a subtle shift. She feels like you're walking with her, not pulling her. And that's the secret sauce of seductive leadership. Why this works. Women aren't drawn to men who talk the most. They're drawn to men who make them feel the most. When you reflect her emotions, her energy, and her truth, you bypass logic and go straight to the heart. You become the emotional mirror that makes her feel recognized, resonated with, and emotionally safe to surrender. The mirror seduction method is how you own her mind before her body. And trust me, once a woman feels emotionally seen, her body will follow. ND, now it's time for a game changer. 8. The emotional tease principle. You want to own a woman's attention? Get her hooked? Obsessed? Then don't just tease her physically. Tease her emotionally. Most guys know how to drop a dirty line. Few know how to ignite emotional tension. That raw magnetic space between wanting and not knowing if she has you yet. That's the power of the emotional tease principle. Women are emotionally wired. They don't fall for muscles, they fall for moments. So here's what you do. You reveal something raw, something true, but you don't explain it fully. I've only really opened up to one person before. It didn't end well, but it taught me everything. And then you pause. Let her lean in. Let her wonder. That moment of mystery? It triggers curiosity. And curiosity is emotional glue. She wants to know more. She starts asking herself, who hurt him? What did he learn? Would he open up to me like that? You're now not just a man. You're a story she wants to be part of. One moment, you're warm, engaging, listening, focused. Then you lean back, smile, say nothing. You break eye contact and sip your drink, or change the subject. It creates a subtle emotional imbalance. A delicious sense of, wait, what's he thinking? She's off balance. She's guessing. And when a woman is guessing, she's invested. Just be careful not to overdo it. This isn't about being hot and cold like a game. It's about being emotionally textured. You're not a flat surface, you're deep water. Still on the outside, but something stirs underneath. A man who says, "You're sexy," is just another guy. But a man who looks at her with a smirk and says, "If I told you what I was thinking, you'd probably blush," creates implied heat. It's not what you say, it's what you suggest. Leave things unsaid. Leave her wondering. Let her imagination do the heavy lifting. And trust me, her imagination is way more erotic than your words. Why this works? The emotional tease principle taps into the part of a woman's psyche that craves both safety and surprise. You make her feel emotionally connected. Then you stir up intrigue. She gets just enough to feel close, but not enough to feel like she's figured you out. And that space between comfort and curiosity? That's where obsession grows. When you master the emotional tease, you don't just own her body. You own her thoughts when you're not around. That's real power. And speaking of power, 9. The performance-driven pleaser. Let's be real for a second. If you want to truly own a woman, mind, heart, and body, you have to bring it in the bedroom. But not in the way most men think. It's not about size. It's not even just about stamina. It's about attention, adaptability, and emotional immersion. This is where the game ends, and real connection begins. This is the performance-driven pleaser. Too many men rush. They skip the build-up. But the most powerful sex, the kind she dreams about, doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts with how you talk to her. The way you lean in and whisper. The way your hand brushes her hip when she's not expecting it. The text you send her midday that says, "I can't stop thinking about what I'm going to do to you tonight." Foreplay is anticipation. And when she starts mentally undressing before you even touch her, you've already won. Here's a secret. Fast doesn't impress her. Fast is anxious. Fast is about you. Slow is confident. Slow says, "I'm in control. I'm enjoying every second. And I'm making this last." Move with intention, not desperation. Build tension. Stretch it. Let her beg. Tease her with kisses just inches away from where she wants you. Back off when she thinks she has you. Make her crave the next move. When you move slow, you drive her crazy. Because every part of her wants to be devoured. And you're the man who makes her wait. Every sigh. Every grip of the sheets. Every time she arches her back or gasps your name. She's speaking a language. But are you listening? A real man knows that pleasing a woman isn't a checklist. It's a conversation. Is she tensing up? Loosen your touch. Is she moaning deeper? You've hit a nerve, explore it. Is she pulling you closer? Don't ask. Take the lead. You become the man who makes her feel seen, heard, and satisfied, all at once. That's what separates unforgettable from forgettable. Let's get practical. You want to own a woman in bed? You can't be done in 5 minutes. Period. Work on your endurance. Practice edging. Strengthen your pelvic floor with Kegels. Slow your breathing when you feel close. Think of it like a workout, because it is. Your stamina is a weapon. The longer you can last, the deeper the connection becomes, physically and emotionally. She'll start measuring every man after you against the way you made her body react. You don't just satisfy her. You ruin her for other men. This is what most guys miss. They finish, roll over, and scroll their phones. Big mistake. Because what happens after is what decides whether she remembers you or forgets you. Hold her. Kiss her forehead. Ask her if she feels okay. Play with her hair. Make her feel wanted, not just used. Aftercare is intimacy. It's the emotional security that tells her, this wasn't just sex. This was an experience. And you mattered. And when she feels emotionally fulfilled after you've physically wrecked her, she's yours. Why this works? The performance-driven pleaser is the ultimate fusion of skill, dominance, patience, and empathy. It's not about being a porn star. It's about being a lover she trusts with her body, and a man she craves in her soul. Because here's the truth. A woman will sleep with a guy she likes. She'll fall in love with the one who takes the time to master her. Own her body, own her mind, own her heart, all in one night? You just became unforgettable. These 9 techniques aren't about manipulation. They're about understanding the full spectrum of what a woman feels, emotionally, mentally, sexually. When you get that right, you don't chase women. They chase you. You don't ask for her loyalty. She gives it willingly. Because when a man can lead her emotionally, tease her mentally, and dominate her body with care, intention, and depth, there's no game left to play. She's already yours. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.